Yo, 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 it's your boy Professor Pippin back in this beat trying to get active on I Trade the Asian. Coming at you now with the weekend analysis. Market open has just market open. So right now, just kind of run through and kind of give my perspective slash outlook on the market so far, what I think is gonna happen this week, or what I'll be looking out for, where I think the market's gonna go. So far, coming into last week, price action definitely was trying to see if price action was going to continue bullishly or bearishly overall. Based off the level we identified looking left. Price action did react bearishly like we were looking for, but overall didn't continue in that bearish manner. Price action even pushed bullishly, as you can see here, high highs and high lows. Break instruction continue higher. So things that kind of identified so far, while I just I was marking the chart, just wrote down some thoughts here. Number one, newly formed 4 hour high on the daily chart. Um, Price action could break right through this level, not really a level that's established on the daily time frame. So what that means is price action is just pushing bullishly. It hasn't found any sort of resistance. I mean, looking left at this point necessarily doesn't necessarily identify anything. There's necessarily anything over here that can potentially say, okay, well, price action, if it stops at this level, then potentially we can see a reversal from that level or anything like that. So um, as we're seeing price action close above or into this level here, you do get a few exhaustion wicks. Price action, what is this? Thursday's candle pushed up and kind of exhausted into that level, and then you got Friday, either came down bearishly and then pushed back into that level, but definitely has pushed into this resistance right over here. So when you had the analysis back, price action could continue to go bullishly and just retest this supply right up here. Second thought, on the lower time frames, we 1 hour. As we push into this level, we know price action is pushing pretty bullishly, and at some point we usually expect some type of retracement to form on the charts that potentially shows as price action exhausts as it's pushing, into different structures and different levels. Um, at some point, we look to see uh, if price action, the best setup could be bullish or bearish. So at this point, what I'm looking for to see if I'm looking to see here is we pushed into this level several times here, started to exhaust with these candles right here, and we started to pull back. Well, necessarily, this pullback hasn't really broken any structures looking left to kind of confirm that price action is going to continue to retrace until it finds another supportive level, supply demand level, however you identify on the chart, within price action to say we're now ready to push back bullish. So from there, what we're looking to see, even on a 4 hour time frame, this pullback doesn't break any structure. When you bump down to the 1 hour time frame, we don't break any structure. So third thought, ultimately price action bullish. So definitely we'll be looking for the best bullish scenario. Um, right up here, we got if price action does happen to break bearishly. Want to see how price action reacts once we get back to that hourly level, which is right down here. Would also look for news confluence to possibly cause dollar strength. Overall, last 2 weeks we've been seeing USD weakness, so we definitely would have to see some type of, I would say, bullish confluence or some bullish dollar confluence in order to see AU drop, or some AUD news that was negative against its currency. So two possible news scenarios to look out for. I haven't read or looked through the news just yet to see what's coming up for the week, but overall, definitely bullish on AU. Can potentially expect some type of retracement. Could potentially um, reject from this level one more time and then start to roll over, or it could just open up um, bearishly. But we did close bullishly, so kind of expecting that push to the top side and then leak if it's gonna go bearish. Otherwise, just higher highs and higher lows back into this daily supply. Clicking over to GJ. Last week, continuation buys worked out for 120 pips. So we had continuation buys above this level here. Price action ended up pushing into that supply back on the daily time frame. Rolled over on the 1 hour time frame somewhere right up in here. On a lower time frame, if you were following the structure, is probably a little bit early signal you can potentially take. But as price action pushed into this level and exhausted and never really broke the high looking left, that probably would have been my first signal to say, okay, we potentially could roll over bearishly since higher time frames were bearish anyway. And then we bump down to the 15 as we're looking at price action, making higher highs and higher lows here, come up, push back into the level that we exhausted on the higher time frame, rolled over and broke structure here. So definitely would have been looking for any type of retracements back into that level that, respects this high over here to start to take this short position. But that's last week's price action. So I'm thirsty in the mother. What I'm looking at now is, let's see, bump out to the hourly. You can see a little bit more structure. Zone that thing on out. Price action closed bearishly from the previous week. All bearish price action. High probability price action will open this week bearishly. So definitely looking to see how price action opens up here. If we manage to catch a gap or a spike, or well, we're already open right now. So yeah, there is no gap so far. So we'll definitely be expecting price action to dip a little bit lower, see if it retests these lows, or potentially try to find some type of support within this area right back in over here. In order for retest buys to correct the drop right over here, possibly continuation. Well, that don't make sense. In order to look for the retest buys to correct the drop or possibly continue bullish, need to see a break on the 1 hour chart first. Yeah. So if I'm gonna start, trying to identify bullish market on lower time frames, to try to correct this price action right up in here, or even, create that formation of the lower high on the higher time frames. What I want to see right up in here is price action, correcting and then break the structure here first once it pulls back. If we, break this high over here, any of these points here potentially would be my entry point, but this will be something I'll be looking for, or my first indication to say, okay, we done got up here in that 1 hour. Potentially, I can catch a trade within this level, from this level back into that 4 hour or that level that was most recently broken. And then, you know what I'm saying? It's 100 and about 180 of them things. So potentially definitely a big enough range to get in and capture some pippage, no matter, it doesn't always play exactly out how I have it, drawn up here. But if we get above, pull back, I'm looking to buy to retest here, even though I think we're ultimately bearish on the higher time frames. Clicking over to UCAD. Drink. Last week, price action continued bearishly, was really choppy price action. If looking for retest buys, want to see close above on the 1 hour first. So last week we had possible shorts or something. I can't remember what it was, but we were looking for a continuation shorts. We wanted to see a retracement to try to correct some of this price action back over here. Didn't get that. Just continued to make lower lows and lower highs on the 4 hour chart. Kind of can really consolidate it right there. Yeah, definitely still waiting to see if we're gonna get any type of retracement to correct any of this price action over here. But overall, definitely bearish. With that USD weakness still being identified, definitely can see the trend going to lower or continue to make lower lows and lower highs. So possibly could identify some buys if we were able to get back up here and stay above that level and retrace, probably capture some profits right up in there. If it keeps going, definitely up there. But yeah, it's in a pretty funky situation right now. So pretty much a waiting game on UCAD. Want to see how it opens up, see if any USD strength picks up, and then that definitely can play into our scenario of the AUD USD with this potential retracement back to that 1 hour support. Clicking over to UJ. UJ played out completely. Had potential shorts, I think, from right up in here. I didn't take the trade. I actually missed. Price action smacked to the downside of hand. Things that I noticed, price action closed in a bearish manner last week. So high probability that will continue bearish when it opens up. We'll see what's about to play out here. If it does break bullish, we'll key on how price action reacts to the level it just broke right over here on the higher time frames, which subsequently will be breaking the bear structure on the 1 hour chart. Other thing that I noticed, this 4 hour level right here is identified. It's not necessarily, I only drew that in just because that's what price action currently is now. So we definitely could continue bearish, kind of like you see in the price action here. that potentially could form here and continue to drop. I only identified, like I said, here on purpose because that's what price is now. But as you go out to the daily time frame, blank that out. That level didn't actually exist until now when price action just opened. So price action just big bearish, big bearish. This is here now because the market is open and live. So, but yeah, so that level doesn't exist on the daily time frame. You bump down to the 4 hour. You do have that one candle close. So if we do start to pull away from this level, start to break this structure here. That's the 4 hour chart. Let's see. Yeah, if we close above here, then potentially that level could fill in and be a valid support on the higher time frame. But right now, it is not. It's only there for visual acuity right now. Like I was kind of got that identified here, not a valid support area, not enough data. But yeah, definitely be waiting to see some type of retracement. Price action is ultimately big bearish on UJ. So if we do get the pullback back into like 129, 500, definitely want to see some type of exhaustion and see if it rolls over for you on lower time frame, 1 hour, 15 minute. Then potentially scalp some price action, right up in that level. GU, yeah, was looking for GU to push a little bit higher to potentially try to take some shorts. Overall, price action is big bullish, so it will be definitely some risky shorts. Let's see here what we got with the current price action. We were bullish back up until this point, creating that resistance on a daily time frame. Price action starts to pull back. Overall, because I do not see. Because within this price action, I do not see a valid pullback to really kind of identify a a real lower low, then that makes this all one push in my eyes as far as price action. It's just real choppy right up in here. So when I say one push, like this is a push, pullback, this is a push, pullback, this is a push. This is all one push for me. And right now we're currently um either potentially going for that higher, this will be, the correction right here. Determine depending on how price action creates and develops right up in here, back into these levels I've identified, is what will help me determine what's actually really going on right here. So price action was bullish on the higher time frames, potentially a retracement, and then this could be the continuation bullish to go and break that high. Um, or it could just be a retracement of this push, this impulsive leg down here. So what happens once price action pushes a little bit higher is definitely going to tell me, which way other price action is going. And so far, I feel like this can still push to the top side before falling. Definitely reach up and grab a little more liquidity. If it does start to fall, could indicate some USD strength. So we're looking for that USD strength on AU, GU, potentially UCAD. See what happens. See if dollar gets it cracking this week. Ultimately, yeah, it's bullish. So you should probably look for the best bullish scenario. So if price action does start to roll over, I definitely want to see how it reacts. We're above that 4 hour resistance we just broke down. So I would definitely want to see how it reacts somewhere up in here first. And then if it just continues to leak, then we're looking back at the this has already been retested. So we're probably gonna swallow that if it continues to come back bearish. So um yeah, I'll definitely be waiting for a retest potentially to take buys back up into supply looking left. Ultimately, from where price is now, wouldn't take the buy now, but from where price is now, ultimately back into that level is about 61 pips. So I don't trade GU very often. Only when the setup is like 100% supreme prime looking good will I hop in on GU because I know it likes to come with a lot of free, and I don't really like playing with GU like that because I had to pull up on bro last week and had to let him know like I don't appreciate you doing my little homies like that. You know what I'm saying with the dip right up in here, but we won't talk about that on live TV. We just gonna keep it pushing. So GU, in a tricky zone right now. Just waiting to definitely would like to see how price action opens up. We do have U.S. bank holiday tomorrow, so keep that in the back of your pocket or wherever you want to stick it, but it might help. Pushing on the gold. If you watched last weekend analysis, this trade idea is called out, and the I guess it's way up here. So far, that thing that pushed that number right there. So we're gonna zoom in over there. I didn't take it because I don't trade gold. But if you watch the weekend analysis, that's how many pips you would have had based off of the chart analysis that I put out there. And if you go back and look at last week, you'll see it just like we're doing right now. So overall, we're looking for the continuation buys on gold. Based off of price action looking left, which is like way over there. I kind of identified some levels I think price action will react from in a bearish manner, but it's way over there. So it's like, you know what I'm saying? Way over there. So when price action gets up there, mm, let it do its thing, let it play around, let it, react, pull back, push through, whatever it's gonna do. Then try to make a decision based off of what it does from right up there. Well, that's what I'm gonna be doing. Make a decision based off of what it's doing from right up there. So as we look at the 4 hour time frame, we're looking at price action continuing to push bullish. We had the break and retest buys above this level. Price action during during the week last week, if you didn't take these buys, potentially we probably would have been watching the charts real tight, but potentially could have took that buy or that buy. Don't know if I would have played with the news on gold, but yeah, could have definitely had two other opportunities to get in based off of this chart analysis to potentially catch these buys to the top side. Ultimately, right now, looking to see if price action does pull back one more time before continuing to buy, or how far it's going to pull back before continuing to buy. So ultimately, it's bullish. If you can catch you a high low, then you know where to go. Pushing over to, oh no, that's the last one. Well, yeah, that's it. So, yeah, a lot of a lot of a lot of places right now, or a lot of charts, or a lot of whatever candles where price action currently is in a tricky situation. So definitely letting price action open up and give you a direction would be key to a strong week. So Monday, let it flop around. Tuesday, be ready to strike just in case it might be there. If it ain't, Wednesday, bam, come out shooting. Because, you know what I'm saying, that's when you can see that good from the, sniper distance. But that's all I got for this one. I got to get up out of here. I'm listening to playoffs and everything. I think my kids about to kick through the door in. So I'm going to holler at y'all. Stay on the safe side. Peace.